welcome to my new video. As I mentioned in a previous tutorial, which I'll put up here, or here, I'm doing like a prom series with ideas and preparation, and as you'll know from the title, this is a prom preparation and like tips video, so I'll just get straight into it. The first thing that you need to think about, especially if you're quite far from like your prom date, is money. One thing that a lot of people forget is like this is just a prom and you don't want to spend too much money, and if you want to spend money, of course go ahead, but set yourself out a budget. And if you know that you have to work some extra hours or borrow something, you need to plan every single thing out and get prices from places, just rough estimates before you actually book them, just so that you know like how much you're spending, because you don't want to end up spending way too much and then not realising how much you've spent overall. So if you write down everything that you'll need for prom, hopefully this video will help you as well, then you can plan everything out and work out how much you're going to spend and allocate money to each like different section of prom. For those of you who want to like start getting ready, like your body ready for prom, because I know a lot of girls like to be really like on a diet and have great skin, drink loads and loads of water, and if you want to start exercising then go ahead like around a month before prom. Also avoid junk food that affects your skin, because I know a lot of people, when they eat too much junk food, they can get acne or their skin just changes. So if you're planning for prom and you don't want that per se, then avoid the junk food or avoid foods that like affect your skin too much. Now the first thing I would say is your dress. Your dress is the first and foremost part of your whole prom if you're a girl. And the majority of you watching probably will be. If not, then your suit will be very important. Your dress is kind of like your main, like your anchor, and everything revolves around your dress when it comes to what you look like and everything else like that. So once you've picked a dress, if you're doing it online, then order it like 2 months in advance, maybe even one, because you don't know firstly if it's going to fit you, if you even like how it looks, like if you find something way better a bit closer to prom that you you'd much prefer, you don't know what's going to happen. So order your dress quite a few months in advance, up to about 1 month if you can. Also bear in mind, if you're ordering a prom dress that's quite expensive and it doesn't fit you, you might have to go and get it tailored to fit you, so that's more expense. So make sure that you're like keeping that into account, because if it doesn't fit you and you really want the dress, then you're gonna have to take it to a tailor and pay money to have it like fitted for you. As well with your dress, you need to make sure that you're like colour coordinating everything with it. So if you've got like hardware, like if you've got jewellery and stuff, you need to match your hardware and your shoes and your bag. And get this a while in advance, because shoes can break, jewellery can break, things can not work, your dress could rip. I know these are all horror stories, but it all could happen. You need to think about these things, because the last thing you want is to have something ordered, not take it out of its package, open it and it be damaged, and that's it then. You have to rush out and buy another dress, you know, like you can't send it back necessarily if you're too close to prom. Another very important thing to get sorted quite a while before prom is your transportation. A lot of people like to come to prom in really nice cars or quirky kind of things to do, like on the back of a tractor trailer or on a big old Victorian bus type thing. If you're going to be doing something like that, or even just a limo or a jeep that you haven't got, definitely, like it's not your car or a close relative or family friend, then you need to definitely book for your day promptly, and you need to like discuss the details, because I remember for my prom, all of my friends and I gave one of our friends a bit of money and left it up to her to do it, and on the day the wrong car arrived and they said, sorry, this is all you've got. So she was very upset on that day. So you need to make sure, if you're organising it, to organise it and share the information with your friends as well. Make sure you're all up to date on what's happening with your transportation, and if it's just you and you know someone who has a great car, then ask them, just go out and ask them and just say like, would you mind driving me, or if we could borrow, or you know, just be confident and people will often just let you borrow it. It's only a car to borrow for like 5 minutes to drive to prom, so I'm sure people won't mind. As far as your hair goes, about a month prior to your prom you should be looking on Pinterest and online, looking at tutorials and things for the kind of hair that you'd like. Now if you're going to be doing your hair yourself, practice a lot. Like it's really important that you get it right, because you don't want to be like covered in hairspray and it to all fall apart, or for you to just improvise, because it can be very stressful on the day of prom and you have a billion and one things to think about. And if you're not doing your own hair, go and make the appointment about a month in advance, please. I know so many girls who didn't get their hair appointment in and were just so unhappy, because like if you're from a small place like I am, there's like 4 hairdressers in the area, and another local school had their prom on the same day as us. So all of those girls and all of the girls from my school were all trying to get hair appointments at the same time, and it was crazy. Like that's the most busy time for hairdressers and things like that. So make sure you book your appointment well in advance. If you haven't yet and you've got prom coming up, go and book it. For nails, it's the same sort of thing. If you're planning on having your nails done prior to prom, go and book the appointment. Go and make sure that you take your dress, or take whatever, like if you've got a colour in mind, take whatever item it is to the nail place and they'll match up the kind of colour that you want, and talk to them, like tell them what you want, so that it takes less time when you're actually there. And if you've got 2 appointments on the same day, keep them apart if you can. You don't want to be running from one to another, because you can really ruin things if that's the case. As far as makeup goes, if you're doing it yourself, then check out tutorials. I'll leave a little thing either here or there for some of the tutorials that I've been doing, but like look up ideas and go on Pinterest, like take screenshots of all of the ideas that you want, and learn about products that will stay on your face, like long lasting ones that won't like look horrible by the end of the night, because you want to look nice from the second you get to prom to the second that you leave. Another thing that I will say about makeup, if you're planning on buying new makeup, please don't buy it and keep it in its package and then try it on the day of prom. You don't know what your skin's going to do, and especially if you've got sensitive skin, your skin might react really horribly. So make sure that you have tried your makeup, make sure you know how to apply it, make sure you've practiced your prom look, because it's really hard to improvise a prom look. Like it's not the kind of look that you do every single day, and you want to look pretty, so try it prior to prom like 4 or 5 times and you'll get into the like groove of what you want. As far as tanning is concerned, if you don't tan, like spray tan or self tan already, don't do it for prom. You're not going to know if this is like your first time doing it. If you've got a while before prom, then start now. Get into the routine, know your skin, know what tan works for you and what like day after your tan looks best, so that you can like do it on that day, 3 days before prom, 1 day before prom, on prom if you're really brave. But if you're not comfortable and you don't know what you're doing, then don't. Your makeup might not match. You might have to buy foundation that's like 2 shades higher. I don't know, like if you're not comfortable with tanning, then I really wouldn't suggest do it. Like there's no point. You're just going to be out of your comfort zone, and a lot more things can go wrong if you're not used to it than if you're like a constant tanner, someone who maintains a tan. So if you're worried about tanning and everything, you don't have to be tanned, you really don't. Before you put on your makeup, make sure that your skin is like exfoliated and everything, because you want your skin to be really, really clear and clean. Make sure that you're just, I don't know, like fresh, because that's what prom's all about, being fresh and glowy and pretty. So make sure your skin is pretty too before you put your makeup on. As far as the actual day of prom, make sure you take lots of pictures before you leave as well as at prom. A lot of the pictures will be with family members who obviously aren't going to your prom. Like, you know, take pictures with them. You look gorgeous on that day, like you're going to look really, really pretty. Take pictures, like you want those memories forever. And even if you've been to 4 proms, they're all very different. You've got different dresses sometimes, and you just look different. These are the kind of things that you show people when you're a lot older, so take a lot of pictures. But one thing I will say is don't view prom from behind a camera. This is your experience, and you don't want the camera to do all of it for you to not actually experience any of it. So don't be behind the camera constantly at prom, because you want to experience it for yourself. You have your own memories, and as nice as it is to get them on camera, remember it yourself as well. And on the day, make sure you bring money as well, because if you want to be buying drinks, or if your dinner at prom is to pay for, like not in advance, or even as much as getting home sometimes if you go somewhere after, you want to make sure that you have money. And a lot of people sometimes just don't, and they end up being stranded, and there's no point in that. So make sure you bring money. And my last piece of advice is just have fun. Don't think that this is like your wedding day. Just have fun, be relaxed and chill. You're gonna have a good time, and you're with people who you know as well. Don't forget, you're gonna be around people who you know and are used to anyway. Don't be nervous, and just have fun, like let loose. Prom is sometimes the last time you'll see friends, like, or people who you usually see around, especially for people in England. Most people have proms in year 11, and a lot of people will end up going to different schools or colleges. So have fun and let people remember you, and you can remember them in just the most fun way possible. So yeah, thank you for watching my video. I really hope that these tips have helped you and that you're gonna follow them, and please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!